After 10-15 minutes of that game on Thursday, Dennis, if someone had said one of these teams going to win by 40, I don't think it would have been Widnes, but you talked about your resilience and Sean, wasn't it?
Well, that's what you want to see. What I saw was the week leading into it and an understanding of what Hull were. And I always knew that if we were close enough, come the last 10-15 minutes of each half, again, it's one of those, it's a lead situation. I didn't expect us to go as far away as we did. We're attacking with some real purpose at the moment. There's some real snap in what we're doing, real understanding of our plays, and everybody's on the beat with it. So I say that those kind of things are working for us in attack. But the resilience and the understanding of what we were trying to do, and we knew that we lost Gil Dodson in the week, which didn't help us as well, losing one of our big men, knowing what they would come with. We knew the pace of the game in the last 10-15 minutes, and I was more than happy with what we did. Like I said, we rode our luck a couple of times, but don't think that either of the opportunities were tried. I think that the tough one was the caught in the air one, but you've seen them given either way. But the other two tries weren't tried, so we rode our luck, we worked hard, and again, I think the turning point came when we held Pritchard up again after absorbing him early, not being able to absorb him early on, late on we got the things out of it that we wanted to. And then we turned that round and went to the other end of the field and scored some points.
In terms of the size of teams that come to play Widnes, it's difficult to believe you're going to play a bigger, tougher looking pack than that Hull one, so that must give your lads in that area a lot of confidence.
Yeah, I think we're pretty confident anyway. We're pretty confident in the things that we're doing anyway, and like I say that was exciting. The lads got excited by it, and that's what was nice as well. We talk about it all week, and the talk across it being the biggest challenge so far, the strength of their team, and just the physicality that we would have to match through Sikamanu, Pritchard, Ellis, Watts. It was always going to be a very, very tough physical game, but we knew that some of our movements, some of our shapes in attack, we could cause them some problems. We just had to be able to bite down our gum shield, so to speak, and get through that first 10-15 minutes when it was a bit of an arm wrestle.
You got fantastic value, didn't you, from your bench players? I think Whitley played pretty much the whole game, and McGrath and Alex in the forwards did a fantastic job.
Yeah, I thought McGrath and, like I said, Matty was great. He came off on after like 3 minutes. It was supposed to be spelling him to get the back row with some energy in because of how strong their back row was. And he came out and it didn't have any problem with reputations. I think that's Matt Whitley. He goes about his business and he plays as hard as he possibly can. I thought McGrath and especially Alex was a real spark to us. I think it was that first game back. He's been a bit frustrated, Alex. Like I said, he had a knee problem. We solved the knee problem, and then he got some related problems with his calf and his back that he's been trying to get back for the last 3 weeks, but just little niggles have just kept jumping on top of him. So he's been chomping at the bit, and hopefully we don't get any second game syndrome from him. So it's that first game back, his adrenaline's pumping, and he was particularly good off the bench for us.
The Chris Bridge injury, that proved to be anything serious? Yeah,
we've got I think it's more of a nerve problem in his neck, and it's something that we've saw it at Salford. I gave him a couple of weeks and he seemed to recover pretty well, and we was hopeful that we'd nipped it in the bud and while we were treating him. Now he's seeing a specialist today. Again, we're still really hopeful that we're more 80% sure that it's going to be okay. There've been a couple of treatments that we can do with it. I'm hopeful that it's not going to be too long. Like I say, and we've sourced it pretty quickly. The medical team's done a great job. So hopefully Chris is not going to be more than maybe 1 or 2 weeks.
Right, so he's not in the mix for this week, presumably?
No.
What about the other lads what was the matter with Gil Dodson, by the way?
He was ill. He was, like I say, we'd had some sickness in the group all week. Like I say, Kev had stomach problems, has been sick, diarrhoea, and Gil was the same. Put Kev on a drip, but Gil was even worse than Kev. Like I say, was massively dehydrated and having real problems just functioning. Kev wasn't that bad. We just knew that we had to hydrate him to make sure that he didn't get injured through those problems. So like I say, he was on a drip the day before just to make sure that he was hydrated come game time.
other than Conor Farrell, obviously, who we know is long term, the other lads who didn't play at the weekend, the SARS.
SAR's available, yeah, he's fit now. SAR's fit and available. Pat Avan's still, he's fit. Paddy Flynn's still fit and available. But it's tough getting in there on this side at the moment on the wings. The wingers are feeding off everybody else really and converting some of the stuff we're doing into tries. So it's pretty tough to get either of those into the side. But Seta Marta will be available for this weekend, which is a positive again.
And Christine's versatility helps here, doesn't it? Because when you get something like that,
well, Chris has been, that's what's the strength that Chris has had for the last 2 or 3 years is that he just plays. Like I say, he can play centre. He's now turned himself into a really good back rower as well, with that ability to push a little bit wide. He's got the pace and the understanding of space around him to be able to handle playing in the centres. And that's the real pleasing thing about Thursday, on reflection, looking at it as well, was the fact that I know we look like a different side this year, but there was only 2 people in that side that didn't play last year. So that was the real bonus for the whole group, and the confidence and the work that they've done for the pre-season and the season before and the pre-season before that, to be able to use what we've done to give us a real strong base of players.
So Wigan this week, it's always a big game, isn't it? And I can't remember the last time they lost at home.
It's quite an impressive record to have. They've been in some tough tussles there. Make no mistake of it, it's an exciting night for us at the moment because of our confidence and how we're playing, but also the challenge that Wigan have probably been the most consistent side over the last 3 or 4 years. I know Leeds have pushed through and won some trophies on that time, but Wigan have played in the last 3 grand finals. They've been competing now around the Challenge Cup all that time as well, and like I said, they haven't lost at home for 2 years. So that's the massive challenge for us now, is that I think they're 5 from 5, and everybody's talking about them not playing that well. I thought they played okay with the ball in hand on Friday night, but their effort and energy is fantastic. So that's where we've got to step up again. We've got to go forward again to be able to match the side of the calibre of Wigan.
I think they're only conceded about 12 points a game, Denis, so far. So in terms of your attack, this is a real barometer of how good you are playing.
Yeah, no, well, we're only on 16 games as well, so it's not far off either, is it? So I don't think, like I said, we're pretty accurate at the moment, and we know we can score some points. How many you can score against a side? You see, what Wigan have got is the fact that they're the only side in the competition that goes 80. There's no let up in the intensity, and that's the real test of them, because they're doing the same things and they're playing the same way, and they're running as hard in the first 2 minutes as they will in the last 2. And that's the challenge. You always know in a game somewhere along the lines you're going to get a little bit of drop off from a lot of teams, or you're going to be able to find a little bit of a chink in their armour, and it's really hard to do that against Wigan, because every play is what matters to them, and that's the big challenge for this group. And again, the lads are excited, and that's the pleasing thing for me when we sit down and we've previewed this week already after our review, and they're ready to go. Yeah? They want it already, and that's the confidence that we have from the good start we've had to the season.
There's a large Wigan connection in Widnes ranks down, and not least yourself, but in quite a number of players. Quite a number of the players as well. Does that give you an extra little bit of back to the old stamping ground feeling?
Not at all, no. It's never felt like that. I think the lads, it's hard to push it away and say that, Joe Miller's from Warrington. It's like, Steffi's a Wigan lad and he came through their ranks. But if you look across the team, there's plenty of teams got lots of Wigan players or Wigan juniors in their ranks. They produce lots of players. Some of those don't play for Wigan. Some of them do and then get cast aside and go and have good careers as well. But we're fortunate here that we've got a few good players that have been part of that mix. Like at least Kevin, really. Kevin and both our halfbacks come through that Wigan academy system, which generates lots of players. But I think it's a fantastic place to play rugby league. It's a great stadium. Lads that have been through our system as well have had some hard days at Wigan. We've also had some good days, been close a couple of times, and had some good days down here against them. So we know our levels have got to go up, but that's the challenge, and that's what we've set ourselves this year. We haven't really put a ceiling on where we can get to and how hard we can perform.